Right, I've gone to the full wall section here. I've already added some of the stuff to it that we did on the stoop. I've got my rebar in here. Up here, this is about a foot up, and then these are 2 foot apart. Got this guy here. This rebar goes from the footing, stops just short of the wall here. It wouldn't stick out. We'll put some more images in here. We're going to draw some stuff in here. I am going to take this floor system and hide it. So I'm going to touch it, right click, and go hide in view and that element, because I'm going to add some of my own stuff to this. We have the -8 foot mark on our basement here. Our floor system's at 0, so we don't need an 8 foot dimension here. We should be able to figure out that's 8 foot. And 11.5 inches up to the first floor, and 8 foot 11.5. So if someone does the math, they'll figure out that's 8 foot tall. So some of the things we need to add to this, we'll do a lot of stuff with the annotate detail line, and I've got this set to medium right now. I'm going to come in here and just draw a line over my soffit, so that goes in there. I'm going to draw a line, another one, let's see, detail line, come out here, and then I'll go up needs to be 5.5, but I mean I can always dimension it and get it up there, but come over like this. This would be the bottom chord, and it could be 4.5 inches. I guess this could be a 2x4. So let's make that 3.5. I said 4.5, 3.5, and I should have said inches instead of feet. So 3.5 inches. So this could all be, this truss system could all be built out of 2x4s. Depending upon the span, they might use a 2x6, which would be 5.5. So that's why I sometimes jockey that around a little bit. This is the top of my stud wall. It's going to have a detail line right in here that's about 1.5 inches down is all. It's going to be, there's 1 3/4, there's 1.5. You have a double top plate, and I just go ahead and put them in there. And again, they wouldn't have to be exact, but you can get them exact. We're going to put another one down here. Let's see, detail line. There's 1.5. It locked right in. Over here, I'm going to come up 1.5. This is going to be 5.5 and go down into it somewhere. That's my sill plate. It's a 2x6 treated. Here, if I go from here up to here, it's actually, we're just going to go, you know, it's into the thickness of the line, so it really doesn't matter that it's not exactly right, but that's supposed to be 9.25 inches tall. It's a 2x10. And then out here you would have your floor joist would come out like this. So it would come over here and come up and come over. So that's my floor joist. There would be, coming up through my 2x10 in the middle of it, there would be a J-bolt. That would have a nut on it. We don't need to draw that on there. A couple other things I usually put on here. Annotate detail line. Come down here and come out about 2.5 or 3 inches. And usually I put a forma drain on here. That's what we use now in our habitat houses. These are usually about 6 inches tall. And they look like a letter B. And this is actually a piece of plastic. That center line in there is for added strength. I'm going to pull this guy back. added strength. This side would be slotted full of holes, and you anchor this in place, and on this side it's smooth and the top it's smooth. That's part of your form. So it's form a drain. We don't take that out. You use a 2x over here on this side of the form. You pour your footing, and then this guy stays there. We drape it with a piece of material that won't let dirt in, and then we cover that up after we get the wall built. That becomes part of our drain system, and we tie the sump pump into it. So you could buy 8-inch tall, but usually a 6-inch tall, and you leave it set up here and you anchor it and level it, and works fine. So we have those on there. We've got that up there. Anything else up here? I'm going to go up to detail line, and I'm going to set this to fine or thin, I'm sorry. And I'm going to go in here, and wherever you have 2x4s, 2x6s, 2x8s, you're supposed to put diagonal lines across them. That was Rusty calling. I'll call him back in a minute. I'm going to put another line here, line across here, here, so all my pieces of 2x4, my nominal size lumber, get that X across them. We're going to insulate the wall. Just a second here. I'm back. Insulate the wall and the ceiling, and then there's a lot of text that goes on this. So insulation, we go up here to annotate. See this insulation right here? I can come in here and grab that, go all the way down the wall. Insulates the wall. I'm going to put a piece right through here. Need to draw one more line in here. I forgot about a detail line, and I'm going to use, I think I'll use the medium. I'm going to come out here. I'm going to come down 90 degrees to that roof and go up here 90 degrees. That's my baffle. When you insulate, you don't want the insulation to push up against the underside of the roof, so you have to put a fiberglass baffle in here every second rafter minimum, so every 2 rafters. That keeps your insulation away, keeps it from plugging this tight, so that you have vents in your soffit. The air can come up, slide through, and ventilate your attic. The air in your attic has to turn over minimum of 10 times an hour. In the summer, 20's better, that it keeps the heat out. And this insulation here, we would actually take, it says it's 3.5 inches. I mean, I've seen this stuff. I mean, we usually insulate this at 18 inches, so I can set it to 18, but it won't look very good. But it's going to have to be an R38, so we'll put an R38 in there. And what some people would do then is take this and copy it, and just say from here up to here, and copy it. But if you're going 18 inches, that means this really doesn't need to be. Let's do this differently. I'm going to move this guy. more up in here. And then I'll take this one and move it from here or up into this area. Because if I had this blown in at 18 inches, this baffle has to stick out here above the 18 inches. So I've got insulation there, and this just indicates that it's pretty thick. This insulation here, if this is a 2x6 wall instead of 3.5, I could put that at 5.5 inches to fill the void. So we've got our insulation in. So that's most of the detail we have to do to it. We'll come back in and label it. Now that I say that, there's a couple more things to put in. I'm going to use a rectangle with, I think, thin lines. I could come in here. This is 4 inches. I could also have done that with annotate, probably should, with region. And make this be, well, right now I'm just going to do it as a diagonal down crosshatch. You'll see why in a minute. Hit the check mark. I'm going to edit the type, duplicate it, call this cement. Since it doesn't exist, I don't know why they don't put one in here. So this one is cement. Instead of diagonal down drafting, we're going to change it to concrete. So that's my concrete slab. I would have another region over here. Let's see if I can find one that is... Thought I had a sand. We'll just do a rectangle again. More like this, and it would be 4 inches. Hit the check mark, we're done. Edit type. Change the pattern. Whoops, I'm going to have to duplicate this and call it, I'm going to call it fill. F-I-L-L, not P-H-I-L-L, F-I-L-L. I'm going to go down here and find there should be a coarse sand, sand dense. We'll use that. Because you're supposed to have 4 inches of compacted fill under this cement. And then this would be earth. And then what I always try and do is come in here and grab it and slide it off of, and I can use the arrow key now. Whoops. Slide it over so it's just touching that so it doesn't mess up the thickness of the line. Same with this guy. Can pull that up a little bit. Well, item there. I want that, I want that. Just trying to make it look pretty. That'll be okay. Alright, so we have our concrete floor, our compacted fill, all our walls. I believe all the things we need to add here are in. We'll just have to do some annotation. I'll do that in the next video.